Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video we're going to be discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Orchid, as well as Cosmos. Not much is really going on today, so it's going to be pretty timid, a lot shorter of a video. We're going to discuss a little bit of what's going on in the news as well as doing the technical analysis. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe for more cryptocurrency news and technical analysis. Also, if you can, hit that thumbs up like button. Let's try to get to 100 likes on this video, and also click the bell icon so you can stay up to date with everything. All right, so let's dive into the first little bit of information. There's a guy who lost a thumb drive. Well, technically he threw it away. This was years ago, and now he's trying to do a little proposition to see if he can be able to go dig through the landfill to try and find this thing. So he told CNN, I offered to donate 25% or 52.5 million pounds, equivalent to $71.7 million, to the city of Newport in order to distribute to all local residents who live in Newport should I find and recover the Bitcoins. The plan would be to dig a specific area of the landfill based on a grid reference system and recover the hard drive whilst adhering to all safety and environmental standards, he told CNN Friday. The drive would then be presented to data recovery specialists who can rebuild the drive from scratch with new parts and attempt to recover the tiny piece of data that I need in order to access the Bitcoins. The value of the hard drive is over $200 million, or pounds, sorry, around $273 million, and I'm happy to share a portion of that with the people of Newport. Should I be given the opportunity to search for it, approximately 50% would be for investors who put up the capital to fund the project, and I would be left with the remaining 25%, he added. The cost of digging up the landfill, storing and treating the waste could run into millions of pounds without any guarantee of either finding it or it's still being in working order. So as he mentioned, like hiring some people to come in and try and replace parts and stuff, that thing is degrading as we speak. And this is back like 2013 period, as they're talking about right about here. That thing is gone, man. And the big problem is that when you start moving around a lot of this waste, it's building up chemicals, and releasing those chemicals in the air is really, really dangerous. So the whole landfill process is a little bit more complicated than people think, of just dumping something in a specific spot and just letting it sit there, right? There's reasons why they do these things and how they continue to adjust it. So I'd say that Bitcoin it's gone, man. I'm sorry. Wish I could get a portion of that Bitcoin. I'm sure everyone does though, right? Mt. Gox creditors can claim 90% of Bitcoin left in bankruptcy from Bloomberg. The agreement is subject to creditors' acceptance. Creditors of the bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange, Mt. Gox, will be presented with the option to claim up to 90% of the exchange's remaining Bitcoin, according to Bloomberg. The deal between Mt. Gox's bankruptcy trustee and MGIFLP, a unit of Fortress Investment Group, will be presented to creditors for a simple up or down vote, Bloomberg reported. Investors aren't obligated to take the early payment and can wait for the lawsuits against the former exchange to settle, according to CoinLab, which announced the deal but is not involved in the settlement. CoinLab said it will continue its litigation. Japan-based Mt. Gox was a major early Bitcoin exchange that filed for bankruptcy in 2014 after admitting it had lost $850,000 in Bitcoin, $750,000 of which belonged to its customers. Creditors have been fighting for some form of reimbursement, though, through 7 years of legal standoffs. It was not clear at press time how many Bitcoin are left for creditors to claim. Should a significant portion of those lost Bitcoin come on the market, it could have a significant effect on the supply of the leading cryptocurrency and its price. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave those bits of news, and then we're going to dive into the charts here. Again, this is going to be a quite shorter, more short video than what we normally have. As you guys can see, based on the purple line system here, I've talked about this in my previous videos, but this is just based on our previous trend. If it was to continue up, what ranges we would see it potentially hitting the $100,000 range, things like that. Well, we had a bit of a hiccup take place the second day on this pattern. Essentially, that position of movement up, it was essentially I'm sorry, I'm saying that word a lot. You copy that whole candle, and if you actually drew it down below, that's where it ended up being for its body position. But it did go all the way further down on this wick, as you guys can see, going right near that 21 EMA, which is still showing a very strong level from a psychological standpoint. And that 21 EMA is also very close to $33,239, a previous level of support I had positioned on the charts here. So it ended up dropping yesterday down to 34,263, had a chance to potentially go down to 33,660, and then that level that I just talked about right around the 33,344 range. On the new daily candle position, looking at our major lines of support that we have formation up here, this actually being a level of resistance, these levels of support are now actually positioning themselves as a level of resistance. So previous level we're looking at trying to break above is going to now be $37,473. If it can manage to break above that, then $39,852, essentially $40,000, right? Break above $40,000, then we're going to have to try and retest this once again right around $45,000 as the biggest high point as we start to work our way towards 50K. Sorry, just prior to that, actually, we have back over here, was $42,000. $42,000 was a previous all-time high that we've ever seen for Bitcoin. And lining up with these candle positions based on the previous trend, if it was to do so, maybe we could see it tomorrow. But as it is, we had a substantial selling pressure that took place yesterday, some buying pressure that came back, but most of the direction was actually in the negative. We had several days of red, some nice green candles. Some people feel... And I mean, you look at it from an analytical perspective too, the amount of percentage from bounce back happened quite drastically. So the fact that there was a huge sell-off that took place again, I'm not actually that surprised. Let's go take a look at it on a 1 hourly time frame and see how this just kind of lined up itself. You can see that there were consecutive hours here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in a row of constantly going down, starting with low volume and progressively working its way up until eventually it got to a point where when it dropped just low enough, everyone decided to start buying in and fighting back and forth. Consequently, afterwards, although it ended in the green, it was followed up with 3 more hours of red until we've actually seen a point now of 3, 4, 5 hours in a row. So 2, 4, 6 red, 5 green as of the moment when I'm recording this video. How many hours in a row can it actually hold itself? Well, let's go back here and just kind of count up some of these circumstances. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours in a row of nothing but green. And then looking even further back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green in a row there. We got 4 in a row there of green. A lot of rows of green. There's 4 reds in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green hourly candles in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hourly candles in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like about 7 is consistently the highest amount that we see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So at most 7 hours in a row of just constant green. If you think that there's going to be pullback at some point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we're at right now, we're increasing the odds more and more that we're going to see some drop in price before it has the potential to try and recover itself. And this high level volume of green, I would be a little bit cautious as we could end up seeing another level of red, which actually not help, but it would actually support more this massive decline and nearing that level for that 21 EMA. We have been staying above the 21 EMA for quite a while, and a lot of people are looking towards altcoins. Ethereum is getting really close to its previous all-time high. This might end up pulling itself a little bit sideways and not really wanting to do much. Where people put their money right now is a big question. With Joe Biden coming in as the new president, the new stimulus package plan, the idea that's being presented, we're looking at another potential $1,400. Some people might want to have a little bit more security of mind of knowing that that money is already in their account or it's in transit. Some people are starting to receive it before they start dumping the money into these kinds of things. Other people also might be looking at it and saying, hey, tax season is coming up. Like, as much as I would like to invest in some of these things, I got to make sure that I get my taxes taken care of so I don't get screwed over from the IRS stuff, right? So just because we're going to be getting another check, we are in 2021 now. I would not say that that's immediately going to see a pump action taking place with Bitcoin. And with the next level of phases that we could see going here, as long as we can maintain above $30,000 and ideally above $35,000, the sentiment that we could go back to 40K, as we just had happened yesterday, actually. Yesterday it went all the way up and just passed right above $40,000 here. Actually, where was it the day before? Anyways, I'm stuttering a lot right now, and I don't know why. In the last 2 days, we have passed above $40,000, and that would not be the first time. We've actually had 1, 2 days passing above, and then we had another day that stayed above 40,000. So we've got multiple reference points that shows, although 40,000 is a level of resistance to try and break through, it is possible. And if we manage to do so, then, you know, we're starting to look at the sky's the limit again. 42K is the only other comparable thing that we have. 50,000, a lot of people are speculating by the end of this month that we very well could do that. There's a 20%, as I talked about yesterday's video, 20% chance, according to analytics in the open market, that we could end up seeing a $50,000 Bitcoin by the end of January. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's possible? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's go and look at the next cryptocurrency now. I'm also going to take just a quick sip of some water. Maybe that'll help me out. Looking over at Ethereum, holding above $1,000 still, which is great, showing a little bit of some sideways action here. We have a level support at $1,136, another level down below at $1,038, another level down below that at $904, now dropping sub $1,000 range. That is concerning, but it is possible, as we saw it actually had happened back previously here on January 11th candle position. If it decides it wants to move up, $1,284 is a major level of resistance. If we can manage to break above that, then we're looking at the previous all-time high of $1,420. We have seen candles that have been quite substantial. If we actually use a reference point like this, you can see this was actually a negative drop position, but just look at how much that transition was. That was from 1,250 in one day all the way down to 909. So you're looking at about a $340 difference. And from where we're at right now, that would more than take us above the all-time high. This actually would take us from, if we even use today's initial candle position, that would push us all the way past 1,500 up to $1,513. But that was a lot of selling pressure. That's just one example of something that you could see. We have another day as of an example back here, which was around on January 3rd. And even then, you take this and carry it on over here, that would put us right on line with the previous all-time high. So there is a chance that in a single day, we could see Ethereum hit a new all-time high. And whether or not that it manages to hold above that, if it bounces off and starts to come back down, we're in the range where it is totally possible to do that. If we can maintain in this position right around $1,166 for the daily closure, then I would say yes, it's looking very heavily probable that we could any day now see a brand new all-time high for Ethereum. The concern is what's going to happen with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin does sway the market a lot. If a lot of selling pressure starts moving off of Bitcoin, doesn't mean that that money is going to immediately go into Ethereum. And a lot of times if Bitcoin starts selling, people start panicking and they start selling their Ethereum too. So before that money can actually be allocated into Ethereum to try and see those rallies and gains, the whole market is starting to drop. So you got to be cautious with these kinds of things. It's almost like you got to keep your money in the game for Bitcoin, and then you also got to kind of do your separate money in Ethereum as well. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at Orchid. And looks like somebody just subbed to me. Hopefully that's not an alert issue. I don't know if it's going to do that again or not. Sorry about that, guys. And looking at Orchid, what do we got going on here? Well, Orchid is still in a little bit of sideways action inside this consolidated space, as you guys can see, but it is still holding above the 21 EMA. Yesterday was a quite volatile day as far as the price action swings, but the volume itself was not that dramatic in comparison to previous moments that we've seen here, which were quite substantial, and the direction that they took with those. So it seems like there's few players actually in the game with Orchid, but the big whales, when they decide to move it, they can dramatically move it. And so we see these big pump and dump type situations. Right now, biggest thing with Orchid, we're waiting for some more news, some sort of release, major update with them doing their stuff with Windows, with Linux, them expanding out into other things besides just the VPN space, having more of a wide range of adoption for the staking system instead of just doing it through the one exchange that they've got their little association thing set up with that. So there's a lot of potential with this project. Right now, it's not doing much though, right? It's the calm before the storm. And the question is, when the storm hits, what's going to be the result afterwards? Is it going to be complete destruction, or is it actually going to help revitalize life on that terrain and allow things to grow and flourish better than what they had before, right? So I got a little bit of a runny nose today. I'm sorry about that, guys. If we can break further up above 27 cents, it's going to substantiate inside of this previous consolidated space a lot more, and a further breakup all the way up to 32 cents. Ideally 33 cents. If we can hit those ranges, then we're looking at an opportunity to start really rallying back to its previous all-time high. If it decides it wants to draw back down, we do have the 21 EMA, and that position is at the 26 cents, 0.2610. A further drop down below that, we could see a level of support at 24 cents or 0.2428, and a substantial drop would actually be going all the way down to 21 cents, although we could see a little bit of action taking place prior. As I'm looking at the new daily formations that have been going on, you can actually see that there is a bit of reflection going on throughout these different points, and by doing so, that actually puts it at 22 cents or 0.2236. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that in line and position right there. So those are your different levels that we could see. The RSI is showing we're basically right in the median zone. So it has plenty of room to decide to go up or down or whatever it wants. Right now, things are just not wanting to move, right? I would personally love to see them expand out from the VPN space. You know, if they can go into other market spaces, I would love to have that news first before them saying that they've got a new Windows update. They got a new Linux update. They got a new, I don't know, something else. If they can expand into more markets, there's going to be more appeal to it. It has more market potential. But right now, the VPN space, it's great. It's a niche market. I love it, but not lots of people are always using VPNs. It doesn't feel like it's as high of a priority right now. And so it's a growing space, but it's kind of like a in the background, right? Let them have that inclusive ability. And if VPNs continue to boom even more, then great for the project. But I would love to see them decide to actually start doing some other things. I think that would be very, very bullish for them. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the last one, which is Cosmos. Cosmos is actually abbreviated Atom. Looking at Cosmos, wow, look at yesterday's candle. Massive green candle, some selling pressure that took place right there. RSI is suggesting that it is on the verge of being overbought, as rightly it so should be. And then on the new daily candle position, it's actually still in the green, which is very interesting. But with these kinds of things, you got to be extremely cautious because you end up having a massive pump and dump situation. We can actually see all the way back here on August 24th, there was also a similar candle actually very close in position to where it had started off. And looking at where it climbed all the way up to, the previous candle actually went higher, but we do see that the point on this last daily candle, the very tip of it was right near where that body position ended before the new daily candle formation back on August 23rd. So there's some strong similarities between these, and you actually see that after that huge push up, there was consequently a series of days that began to drop down and a further decline in that position as well. This is holding above the 21 EMA, which is great. It's only got 1, 2, 3 days of closure, suggesting that there is a bull market occurring, but that bull market could still see some major pullback as long as it stays above the 21 EMA, which is $6.28. So we could end up potentially seeing a drop all the way down, and with the indication of it being in a continuation of a bull market, we might even see it end up pulling up the next day from a higher position. So a potential buy zone could really be right around $6.27. A big concern that I do have is that this had dipped down just basically for 2 days. And then if you go back even further, it started its breakout back on December 28th. So it's had a decent rally going on here throughout this time. And I did not mean to do that. Let's go ahead and look back here. We can actually see that there is an all-time high position Right, sorry about that noise in the background. My roommate is cooking some food, and you guys can, I hope you guys can't hear it. I don't know what he's doing. Anyways, looking at this, we got $9. $9 is an all-time high. If we can manage to break above that, then we're looking at $10. So Cosmos, aka Adam, is making some moves. It is looking fairly bullish in this position. I'm actually going to add in a little bit more on this one. Let's go ahead and do a, not a forecast, let's do our, not Elliott waves. Why am I forgetting where my stuff is? I need my Fibonacci retracement. There we go. Got it marked in gold. I just was in the wrong section. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and set this up within this space here. And within here, we can actually see a couple breakthrough points that took place here at this 0.618. That was back on January 10th. Another position the following day, which actually dropped all the way down, tapping just slightly into the 0.236 on 236 or 0.21? Yeah, 0.236. Right now, we are in a good position, though, holding into the upper quadrant, so there is still a good amount of potential for us to continue back up, but I would be concerned about seeing some potential pullbacks, guys, and going all the way down, as I've been seeing with comparable altcoins recently, tapping after a pump, coming back down to the 0.5 level on the Fibonacci retracement. This would actually be a full sell-off from the previous day's candle position, which is a little bit concerning, and by doing so, that would put it all the way back down to $6.44. I would be actually looking more likely on the actual individual candle itself instead of the full Fibonacci sequence at 0.618 as a higher likelihood. So if it decides it wants to pull back, I would not be surprised if it dips down to around $7 and holds that position, or potentially sees a bounce and then a further continuation up. So $7 is my first major level. Then the next major level is $6.43, and then the 21 EMA at $6.28, but with a potential break up through the $9 region. And that's going to go ahead and do it for this video, guys. Once again, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Let's try to get to 100 likes on this video. And also click the bell icon so you can stay up to date with all the latest crypto news and technical analysis. I am on Twitter if you guys want to check me out. My Twitter handle is AtlasOfficialTV. Again, that is AtlasOfficialTV. As you guys can see right here on the bottom left-hand side, AtlasOfficialTV. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you in the next episode.